All right, y'all. If you're a first-time home buyer or even just thinking about buying, this TikTok I found is full of real talk and solid advice. Today, I'll be reacting to her 5 tips and sharing some of my own thoughts as a real estate agent when it comes to buyers purchasing their first home. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kay, giving you the keys, or should I say the real keys, to homeownership. Let's get into it.
Here are 5 tips I have for first-time home buyers. Hi, my name is Talia. We love a list over here, so make sure you're following her daily list. So this topic has been highly requested, and I think the timing is perfect because 4 years ago this month, I started my home buying journey. It took 6 to 7 weeks between talking to a lender, talking to a realtor, and closing. Don't forget to share your first-time home buyer tips in the comments. Number 1, and this is really like the one piece of advice that I need y'all to take. You're gonna talk to a lender and you're gonna give them your entire life story, and they're gonna come back to you and say, this is the loan amount you've been pre-approved for. This is how much house you can afford. I need you to take that number and I need your actual budget to be significantly less. You do not want to be in a position where you're house poor. There is more to life than your mortgage. I remember when the lender came back and they're like, you've been approved for like 400. I said, I don't want to. And I went to my realtor. I'm like, no, because I want to live my life. Yes, I want to have a house. I want to be a homeowner, but I still want to travel. I still want to be social. I like nice things. And keeping up this house is going to be its own expense. So the budget has to be much less. Number 2, this is kind of piggyback.
Yes, and yes. Ms. Talia is 100% correct. Just because your bank says you can spend $500,000 doesn't mean you should. Think of that pre-approval letter as your maximum, your ceiling, as high as you can go, and not your goal. You want room in your budget for emergencies, furniture, life, and let's be honest, you want to have some fun. You may want to go to the movies. You may want to go check out an amusement park, all right? You might even just want to DoorDash a couple of days out the month. But being house poor is a real thing, and it's not so fun. In fact, it's what causes a lot of remorse and regret within first-time homebuyers when they purchase their first home because they weren't aware of the true cost of home ownership. So buy what fits your lifestyle, and better yet, buy lower than what fits your lifestyle so you're extremely comfortable and not just basing it on what your pre-approval letter says. Because at the end of the day, the lender's job is to tell you the maximum number of what you can afford on paper. But as we all know, a lot of things look good on paper, but may not exactly play out like that in real life.
Backing off of point 1, you need to remember that there is more to this than your mortgage. Keeping up a house is a different type of expense. Unlike renting, everything is on you. Okay, the garbage disposal breaks, you need to replace the roof, there's a leak, My house is like 2.5 times the size of the last apartment I lived in. That means higher utility bills. Okay, I wanted a yard. That was a deal breaker for me. Baby, somebody gotta cut the grass and it ain't gonna be me. Number 3, your house.
Again, she's hitting it right on the head. And then not only do you have to worry about your garbage disposal breaking, but then the water bill hits. And then you have to replace your trash can because it just up and magically walked away one day. And then your AC breaks in July. Oh, and don't forget that water softener filter that you've been needing for quite a while but have been putting off. It's a lot. And this is the stuff that no one tells you. When owning a home, you don't just live there and you're not just the owner, but you're also the landlord, which means you have to take care of everything. You have to budget for maintenance, utilities, lawn care, pest control, all of the things Ms. Talia listed and named, because nobody's going to take care of that for you. Even the little random tools you got to run to Home Depot or Lowe's to grab when something small breaks within the house. This is why I tell my clients, whatever your monthly mortgage is, mentally prepare yourself to pay more than that. I also tell them that actually you should take 14 cents and multiply that by the square footage of your home or the square footage of the home that you're looking to purchase, and then take that number and add it to your monthly mortgage payment. All right, so for example, say you're looking to buy a house that's 1,000 square feet. You take 1,000 square feet times 14 cents, which is $140 a month. Say your mortgage payment is $1,500. You take $1,500 plus 140, which is $1,640. So on paper, you're only paying $1,500, but mentally, you're paying $1,640. And even if that $140 is not leaving your account every month, you should still be setting it aside because something is going to break. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Is your house. The house that is meant for you will find you. I think a lot of people, especially in this housing market, are extremely frustrated. They're not seeing what they want. They're seeing more houses than they think they should. They're getting outbid. I think the statistic is the average home buyer sees 8 to 10 houses before they put an offer. This house, number 10. Okay, I saw 10 houses, but when I pulled up to this one, I knew. Number 4, you need to be honest with yourself.
So to hit on number 3, listen, I know it's so easy just to go pick the first house that you see with the cutest kitchen on Zillow, or walk in and view a home with all of the kitchen and the bathroom and the bedroom upgrades. It's easy to pick those up front, but rushing the process is how you end up with regret. Buying a home is a long game. Take your time, be patient, and trust that the home that you want will show up for you. Because it's not just about finding a house, it's about finding your home, which is a big difference.
About what's most important to you in a house. So when I was buying my house, I knew that location was like number 1 on my list. I wanted to live in Maryland, but be as close to DC as possible. And as I was looking at all these houses and becoming frustrated and becoming impatient, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should compromise on location. Maybe living a little further out into Maryland will get me the house that I want. I would have hated myself if I actually had compromised on that, knowing that socially my life is in DC. Where I currently live, a couple of stoplights to the nearest DC border. And everyone's needs are different. For someone who is unmarried, doesn't want to have children, just me in the house, my needs are different from someone who's like married or has a family, has to worry about schools, etc., etc. And number 5, this is really for people who are
being for real about what you want. That one right there is so underrated. As a buyer, you need to be brutally honest with yourself about what your non-negotiables are. If you hate stairs, don't buy a 3-story townhome or condo. If natural light is a must, don't settle for a dark corner unit just because it's $100,000 cheaper than the next one. Being clear up front will save you time, stress, and heartbreak during your search. And most importantly, it will spare you that regret and remorse later on down the line.
Not in new construction or not buying new construction, please think beyond aesthetics and cosmetics, okay? Yes, worry about flooring and cabinets and countertops and all of these things. You know, those things are cute. But what about that roof? When does it need to be replaced? Think about that HVAC. When was the last time that was looked at? The foundation, take a look at them ceilings. Has there ever been issues with mold?
Man, if this one isn't the truth, don't let pretty finishes fool you, because bad bones are expensive to fix. That fresh paint could be hiding water damage, and that newly finished cute bathroom means nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing if the plumbing is you know what, if it's trash. All right? Always look into the roof, the foundation, the HVAC, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And check for mold issues, check for termites, check for any thing that may seem small at the beginning because they can grow to be really big problems in the future. And most importantly, please, and I mean please, get a home inspection. That $400 to $600 investment that you pay for at the beginning of your journey will save you thousands of dollars in the future. When you go under contract, you have to pay something called your earnest and option money. And out of those two, your option money is what gives you the chance to go do your due diligence. And all that means is get a home inspection. You can go look and research and pick your own inspector, or you can use one that your real estate agent refers to you. My recommendation would be to go with an inspector that you find, just so that you know no funny business is going on and you keep everyone honest. But however you do it, get the home inspection. If you don't remember anything else about this section or part of my video, please remember, when you walk in a home that looks beautiful and you love it and you get a little distracted by all the bells and whistles, just remember, get a home inspection. Now that Miss Talia has discussed her 5 tips for first-time home buyers, I have a few more that I'd like to add. Now, I could go on and 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 on about tips for first-time home buyers. But these are just a few that I thought I'd pull out that would go well with this video. So tip number 6, get pre-approved before you fall in love with that home. In what I do every day, being a real estate agent and a loan processor, I've seen so many people go out and find that one home that they're like, this is the one, and they absolutely love, but haven't been pre-approved. Don't play yourself, because a pre-approval shows sellers that you're serious, but not only that, it also helps you shop within your real range. And on this tip, I don't want to focus so much on the number, but on the steps leading up to your pre-approval. A lender can only approve you for a number with the information that's given to him. So in the video, as Ms. Talia stated, you will have to tell your life story. And that's true, because they have to verify your liabilities, your income, and your assets. Your liabilities is your credit report, and they'll also ask for your bank statements to see if you have any accounts like Klarna, Afterpay, or Affirm to add to that liability section. They want your bank statements, the most recent 2 months, to see how much money you have saved up for the process. And they also want to see your pay stubs, your W-2s, and any other tax documents like your 1040s, which are your tax returns, your 1099s if you're a self-contractor, or your Schedule Cs, K1s, whatever, if you're in business for self. And with those income documents, they'll be able to truly calculate your income, because just because you made $80,000 in a year doesn't mean that that lender can use that number to qualify you or see how much home you can actually afford. In this tip, be as transparent with your lender as you can. Submit all the documentation that they ask for, because at the end of the day, you're helping yourself out because you know that you're truly pre-approved. Now, for tip number 7, first of all, you do need a real estate agent or a realtor or sales agent, whatever you want to call it. And you also need to interview that agent like you're hiring them for a job, because you are. Your agent is supposed to be your guide, your negotiator, and your problem solver. And they're also supposed to be a great communicator, especially when it comes to the home buying process. Don't just use your cousin's, friends, boyfriends, girlfriend's, homegirl's roommate. Interview a couple of agents and see which one works for you. Who do you feel more comfortable working with? Who do you think knows what they're talking about and is going to have your back? Buying a home can be a very long journey, and it's a lot of moving parts. So you need your agent to communicate with you, because you're going to feel a little apprehension and anxiousness. It's just normal, because it's such a big purchase, and if it's your first time doing this, you don't know what's going on. So your partners are important. They should make you more anxious in the process, but they should soothe you a little bit and communicate with you what's going on. All right, and last but not least, my very last tip is knowing that you have the power to walk away. One of the most powerful things in the buying process, and not just in the buying process, but in life and negotiating in general, is the power to walk away. Bad inspection, walk away. Appraisal came in too low, walk away. Too many red flags, something just don't feel right, walk away. You don't have to force it. Trust your gut and wait for the right deal, because you don't want to lock yourself into something that's going to be a problem for you in the long run. There's always another house. So that TikTok was spot on. Miss Talia knew exactly what she was talking about and gave 5 wonderful tips for my first-time home buyers. If you're a first-time home buyer, now is the time for you to move smart and not just fast. If you think that you're ready to start your home buying process, I want you to click that link in the description below and schedule a consultation with me. And if you're not quite ready, that's okay. I want you to check out my channel and also this playlist that I made for my first-time home buyers to give them some tips and tricks along their own journey. This is Kay, giving you the real keys to home ownership. And remember, when you know better, you buy better. See y'all in the next one.